Hey guys, May here. So I'm from another ENFP, INFJ Instagram, like it's not our channel, but like Instagram account. And I actually made a video like a few months back talking a little bit about like how to tell if an INFJ likes you. And I did 5 tells, and I actually got a question about number 4. Kind of crazy because I wasn't planning on making any more videos, but because you guys asked, maybe I'll actually like make it a thing. I don't know. But yeah, so the question was basically about how sometimes INFJs, when they don't want people to know that somebody else likes them, they like revert and act like they don't like people. And so I know that can be really confusing, so I was gonna relate on that a little bit more. And yeah. So basically, as an INFJ, I'm going to do another disclaimer. So some of the stuff is personality. So a lot of people are like talking about how Myers-Briggs just doesn't make sense and just doesn't really seem very reliable. And I want to say that a disclaimer that Myers-Briggs is not going to specifically tell you everything about you. So everything, like your type, you have a type, but your type, you may be different than other types, and that's called your personality, and that's why we're all different. But Myers-Briggs is just basically here to kind of help in categorizing people and kind of understanding them a little bit more. I don't think it's necessarily supposed to fit you perfectly to a T. Your type is not going to fit you perfectly to a T. But yeah, anyways, back to what I was talking about with liking people. So yeah, INFJs, sometimes they pretend like they don't like somebody just because they don't want people to know. Personally, for me as an INFJ, I'm a really secretive person, so even this YouTube channel, not a lot of my friends know. I don't think any of my friends know about this YouTube channel. A very few selected know about our Instagram account, me and Angie's. So yeah, so back to the original question. Yeah, INFJs, let's think about this for a second. To tell if they like you, but it's like, but they're like pretending that they don't, is definitely in their eyes and their facial expressions and when you're not paying attention. So they're definitely gonna do great acts, and not great acts, but big kind of acts that like make it seem like they really don't like have a crush on you. Like they'll still be friends with you, and I don't think that they'll be mean to you or that will try and do purposeful things, but Hi, Katie.
Hi, are you doing a video?
Yeah, do you want to come over here?
Sure, what is this video for?
It's a Myers-Briggs video. So, what's your type?
I don't know.
You don't know what your
I am E.
You were that one that was was really unique to where we work. Like, there's like you and
Yes, Becca.
you guys were like the only ones here that work here. Mostly the ones who mostly work here are ENFPs. So. You guys didn't know that we work at a camp.
It's true. Camp is pretty awesome. You should work at a camp. Are you talking about your?
Yeah, I am talking about my type.
Nice.
I made a video earlier about INFJs, and I posted it. I don't know why. I really don't know. I don't know. I was really bored one day.
That's great.
And then somebody asked me a question in my comments.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. So
Oh,
I'm answering it right
legit.
now. It's pretty serious. We got 1 comment, so.
Oh, boom.
Yeah.
I'm going to go comment on your video now.
Okay, you do that.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Yeah, she's not going to be able to find this video. Anyways, so where was I? Where was I? Okay. Oh, yeah. So a way that you can tell that an INFJ, I lost my train of thought. If an INFJ likes you, but they're pretending they don't, is not in the things that they tell you specifically, like to your face. Okay, so it's all in like what they're not saying and what they're not saying directly to you. Because when they talk to you, they're gonna be like, oh, no, and they're gonna like blow you off. They made you things like purposely avoiding you, kind of like that kind of thing. That's kind of like a lot of things that I would do. I think, yeah, that's really hard when you're trying to figure out whether they do or not. But it's also if they like catching glances. So even if I like somebody, like I'll try and I'll act like I don't like them, but I'll still try and like be really good friends with them. which also doesn't really help because I do that too. Yeah. There's some things that you can tell when an INFJ does not like you, and maybe that can help differentiate between you like some INFJs like somebody, but then they like want to pretend that they don't, and then they really do not like you. Okay, so thinking from my own experience, I get really passive aggressive. I don't know if other INFJs, because we're not extroverted, and we're people pleasers, we don't like people to know that we don't like them, but at the same time we want them to. So we drop subtle hints. So it has to do a lot with passive aggressive comments and kind of and also it can lead up to a door slam. So I know that a lot of people are like, don't door slam, it's bad. I actually didn't understand why, when I wanted to cut a relationship off with somebody, why I just waited and for a really long time, and then finally I just stopped and I cut it off and I slammed the door on them. And I never really understood why I did it. I just knew that I did. I didn't want to be their friend anymore. And I didn't want to go through the confrontation of why I don't like them anymore. Because I'd just rather have them like not feel any worse than that they already did. Even if I didn't like them, I didn't want them in my life. So yeah, I think I've door slammed 4, 5. I don't know. I've at least 3 really big ones I can think of. So a lot of the things that really annoys me is when people are kind of demeaning and they take for granted your kindness. So kindness, the word kindness is a really big word in my vocabulary. I think that's really important for us to be really nice to each other and kind to each other, because even if you don't like the person, you know, maybe there's a reason why they're not nice. But eventually it gets to a point where you just can't deal with that anymore. It's become straining on yourself, and you feel like it's not helping them at all. In fact, it's adding to their unkind nature. So ways you can tell if an INFJ doesn't like you, because there's a door slam factor. Sometimes you won't be able to tell if they don't like you, but it'll be definitely small things. Like texting, for one instance. If somebody's texting me, I don't like them, I'll start giving really short, choppy words. And things that are like, no, that sounds great, yep. Yeah, that's great. That's fine. Yeah. And then they won't really want to engage with you at all. They won't share anything about themselves to you. They won't try and go out of their way to make you feel really great about yourself. Like, they won't help you, go out of their way to help you. Like, sometimes they will if you ask them, but they're not going to do it if they don't like you. Okay, some other things that you need to know. See, if I don't like somebody, yeah, I'm sweet with them, I'm nice with them, and I try and make it feel like I like them, but you can usually tell when somebody doesn't like you, even though they like, oh yeah, they're really kind, and they like try and like be nice with you and sweet with you. It just feels very fake. It's going to feel very fake. It's going to feel very plastic. And some INFJs are really good at lying to your face and telling you, no, like, we're great friends, we're getting along fine. But they'll do small things. Like, if you invite them somewhere, they may not necessarily show up. Like, say you want to go hang out, and they're like, and you're like, hey, let's go hang out sometime. They're like, yeah, that sounds great. Let me check my schedule. I'll get back to you. Most of my excuses that I give people when I don't like them are like half truth reasons. So sometimes I'll like use a reason that I could work around that, like not necessarily was a problem. Essentially, I could make it sound like it was a problem, and that's why I can't make it. So if somebody were to check in on that, they're like, oh yeah, that's true, but it's not, because I could have totally like worked around it and got to whatever event that you wanted me to be at. So it's definitely if we show up to places, but sometimes it's not true too, because we're introverted and we like to be alone, and so sometimes we cancel plans. But there's also the factor of if they're kind of passive aggressive to you, they cancel plans, they don't really, when you get into deeper conversations, they're not going to be open with you. They're kind of like nodding, and they don't really want to talk about it, and a lot of small things like that. And then definitely their face when you're not around. which I know is really hard to figure out when you aren't around. But generally, it'll be when you are around, it'll be the fake face, and then when your back's turned, it'll be the not like happy face. So some INFJs are definitely more verbal about it, and I'm an INFJ that is, I think, less of doormatty. I don't know. I feel like that's going to more of the ISFJ realm, but I used to be an ISFJ, and so that's kind of where it comes from. But now I'm a lot more pointed. I like to get the point across to more. Like I'll wait, and then I'll cut it off and be like, nope, like this is this now. I'm definitely a 0 to 100 person, so there's no in between. I don't like gray. I'm very black and white. So yeah. I hope this helps a little bit. I know it's really confusing. If you need more clarification, definitely message us in our Instagram, or DM us in our Instagram, which is another INFj. But yeah, thanks guys. And hopefully there'll be more videos, so check us out. Thanks.